Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Thank you very much for coming by the channel once again to see some more Captain Tsubasa Dream Team here with the homie Nako, bringing you in this video a quick analysis regarding the new transfer that just came out. It was something about man, I just wrote down the folder name too since I was preparing to record, right? Something about determinations and techniques that lead to victory or something like that. Anyway, at any rate, what happened is that it's a 3-step banner and it has Misugi, Soda, and Muller. Interesting units. It's a continuation of what they've been doing so far of the banners with 3 steps. Of course, there's only a guarantee of an SSR, but not a guarantee of one of the players in the banner. And you'll have opportunities to pull other some of the more recent units, and it seems like they're continuing as well with the one raid unit, a unit that provides 7%, and then another unit that's meant to be used on the field. So okay, so before we continue, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Let's go for some more. Let's go. And I am gonna end up pulling on this account after all, not just because, but kind of just because. But at the same time, well, to see if we could at least provide you with a 7% bond unit to have at your disposal, so for the time that December comes around and I decide to do the giveaway then, and then so you could have a little bit of a head start and not just some decent players without any bonds. So I'm gonna have to pull every now and then. We're at 700 dream balls right now and there's still a lot to farm, so don't worry, I'm not gonna go through all the dream balls on this account. And at least with the fact that it's 3 steps and they do the discounted at 30, 40, and then 50, so it's 120 to pull a full banner on this one at least. And if we don't end up with one of the new units, at least the fact that it guarantees an SSR and the pool is updated, considering that this is a newer-ish account, then it might not be too bad, because at least, okay, I might get an updated unit to continue to form a team in the meantime while I do start pulling for units that we want to put into the field. Okay, so techniques, showdown techniques and determination for the victory is the name of this banner. As I mentioned, we have Misugi here, we have Soda, we have a Muller, and it's a little interesting because here's your raid unit. But the problem is that the raid unit at least has some utility in the sense that I guess use them for whatever raid it's meant for, and then after that you can go ahead and proceed to give to pass on this block skill to another unit that might be able to use it. Where is it? This one, the do or die jumping block. I think I might have to consider pulling on my main to see if I get either this one or the other one, so that I could have this this one or Soda or even Muller. Any one of them will probably do. I could find some use for them, but more than anything, this skill right here, it's his strongest block to date with 500 momentum. And the blue Misugi, not the one that gives Japanese players plus 5%, but the one that gives 80% Insight Master. His stats are pretty good, like good enough to be able to stop Tsubasa through intercepts and stuff like that, but I don't know if he would be strong enough even with that 80%. No, is it 80% with Insight Master? I believe it is. Let's assume that it is. All right, I think it's 80% Insight Master that one Misugi gets, and I don't know if his stats are strong enough to be able to actually stop a shot. I'm not talking about this Misugi, the blue one, but what's it called? Yeah, I mean, even if the new Couts can't stop the shot from Tsubasa, so I don't know if that other blue Misugi would be capable of doing so as well. Capable of doing so at all. This one right here, as we see, is very specific. Here's the indicator that it's a raid unit. You don't care about this as a defender or as even for a defensive midfielder. It kind of depends, I guess. The ones that most notably, the ones that have this hidden skill right here is Michael or Chow. This is not gonna do much of anything, right? In terms of there's not many Germany Rising Sun players right now that are like meta-ish units or whatever. So, you know, this is the radiant. This is a radiant. And for passing on a new skill. That's it. Okay. Even with the increases that he gets through penalty and vital area master, I don't think they'll be enough. But at the same time, this is actually not necessarily that bad. This right here is not necessarily that bad, all things considered. However, now that you've seen Couts was at like 18k and 16 or 7, whatever. But regardless, 18k now. So that's 5k difference. But the thing is with Couts is that he's pretty highly OP in terms of raw stats alone. He does also get a 10% increase through his passive against. Is it just against AM? So I guess it's against Tsubasa and Misaki, right? But let's see, even this guy with a 20% increase, he would be reaching levels here. So you divide this one by 5 and it's almost 4k. No, not 4k, oilo. Because if this one was at 15k and you divided it by 5, then it would be 3k. But this is not a 15k, so it's even lower than 3k. So maybe 2k, maybe 2,500 right here, 2,500 right here ish. And then you would get 2,500, 15, close to 16,000 right here in tackle and intercept. But the thing is that that's not going to be enough, I think, either to stop a Tsubasa or Misaki. At 60, no, maybe. Because he is red, so he might be alright. But again, all things considered, he's not an ideal defender. Even if he does come up to okay numbers, even with this, he doesn't have any hidden skills that assist him with being a much better defender. This is not for defense. This is only for raids. This is super specific. This is the only hidden skill you'll get some kind of use out of. So he's not a defender that you're gonna want to pull for. But I mean, if you're desperate and he comes out, depending on what it is that you have on your squad, he is. You could maybe get some use out of him, but I will not spend too many of your valuable resources on that particular unit. Because as you can see here, 15, 16, and 17. Right? This fool right here, 14, 12, and 12. And then we had this fool right here, 12, 12, and 12. You see, in Makoto Soda was at 14. We saw he had 17 here, 16, and whatever his tackle was. Let's see. His tackle. My shoulder's been hurting. Okay. Tackle 15k, 16, 17. So you see he's much higher. And then on top of that, he boosts himself another 20% right there. So now these guys that are 15k, 20%, that's divided by 5. Now it's an additional 3k. This one a little more than 3k, and this one even more. This one about 4k or so. So with about 3k increase, maybe slightly more, you're getting 18k. This guy then for sure 3k, maybe slightly more. So this one's reaching upwards up to 20k, and this one's for sure surpassing 20k. On the sideline. On the sideline. Near the sideline. Okay, so yeah, unfortunately, I don't like that they gave him this as a primary skill, the cut and block, but it's alright. Primarily because you're not really going to be using a blocking skill if you're trying to put him as a side master, you know what I mean? But I mean, for whenever they get desperate, I guess, and they're going to take the shot on you, like 16 and 12 is not going to cut it. At 16 and 12 is not going to cut it, because not even Couts is capable of blocking Tsubasa's shot, and he's a much better blocker in terms of skill. In terms of stats. And then again, this is going to be only boosted up at the sideline, and you should see almost absolutely no reason why anybody's going to take a shot from the sideline. Nobody, especially outside of the area. Like, nah. That's the only thing that I don't like about this unit right here. But otherwise, he's not bad. There's an auto intercept percent here, 80%. This is killer, literally. 30% stamina killing sucks. to be facing. It's good for a unit, and it sucks when you're facing them. So he has tenacity. Okay, this is just all right nowadays. Nowadays being September 17, 2023, just because there's not too many units out there that are blocking skills, other than a Roberto Dreamfest, the green one from clubs. So this is just okay for now. Maybe it might be more useful once other units start coming out, in case they have that. But there's almost nobody who's blocking skills right now. Almost nobody. Statistically, he's cool. He's killed. The only thing is that, if you do want to compare him to other defenders, let's check it out. Watch. I did a quick comparison before, and I saw before I started recording, and then I did see that there was kind of he's up there. Not bad. Okay, these are the top 3 defenders statistically on raw stats only. Okay, raw stats only. So this one's a gacha card too. So when this guy first came out, he wasn't bad. People pulled for him. He wasn't bad. He has what's that one that you stand firm and stuff like that, right? And comparatively to other units, he was not bad. This tackle, his block, intercept, this was all considered good. All of this is still good. Look. Pass, shot, dribble, technique, power, roughly the same, and that's still almost the same even for these type of units. Look, except that this guy is actually even lower in pass. Look, right here, the counts. And then this guy I think was also released as a gacha unit. I don't think it's this one is necessarily from an exclusive transfer. So see, this one was slightly increased, and the fact that he's blue. Right, but they're all roughly around here. So now Soda and the strongest defender in the game currently, which is this Couch from Dream Collection that just finished up. You can see they're pretty equal right here. So defensively, the technique will help the intercept, and the intercept, Couch is just slightly higher. But again, remember Couch right here, he does increase. He does give himself an increase. I think by 10% right here versus AM. So, and Inside Master, what makes him even tougher. So remember, this comparison that I'm making is just on the raw stats alone. So you could get an idea as to where this Soda stands, where he stands, right? In terms of the strongest defender, and then some of the other ones that fall, within the top 3, I guess you could say, in terms of raw stats only. Raw stats. Okay. You see, Couch is significantly higher in tackle. Plus, again, remember 10% and then 20% as well if with Inside Master. So all of this was be significantly higher. But then again, this is the strongest defender in the game. This is the strongest defender. But I'm making this comparison so that you can kind of see where he's at. See, so this Soda is not bad. Okay, but that's if you get him, assuming that you're pulling, you're probably pulling for Muller for that 7%, and possibly I guess you're probably still needing a goalkeeper or something like that. But we'll get into Muller. And see if he has any kind of utility or not. Okay, so then we have that, as you can see, with Thoram right here. He's a slightly better passer, slightly better dribbler, but who cares? He's a defender. Only the pass is what I care about. Tackle and block are roughly the same. And you see, and we were talking about how this Thoram is a capable stopper of Tsubasa as well, despite having a lower intercept right here. So it's because he boosts himself significantly or something like that against Tsubasa, if I recall correctly. You see, Soda is much faster. In terms of power and technique, roughly the same. Technique affects intercept, speed affects tackle, power affects block. So you see, Soda is slightly higher in most categories compared to this one, but this one's just red and this one's on the sideline. This Thoram right here would end up being more of a central defender, as would Ishisaki. And Ishisaki's utility would come from the fact that he has stand firm. So See, he's gonna get that boost right there, and then he has also the color advantage versus Tsubasa, and this guy has inside masters. So and stamina killer. Yeah. So if you have Thoram in the middle to face Tsubasa, and then you have Soda on the sideline as well, it'll be their stamina killing would be pretty annoying, and well, they have auto intercept and all that stuff. So Soda can be used. He can have some utility. He can be useful. And then if you need somebody to get the ball up ahead from the back, since he's just a side master, and he has tenacity, if you have offensive skills for him with dribble and pass, I'm sure that not too many forwards or anybody for that matter is going to want to use that many defensive fields. If they depend on offensive skills, they're most likely not going to want to lose 30% additional stamina on a defensive skill to try and stop you and then lose out on their offense. So you could use this so that potentially to move the ball forward from way in the back through a matchup if you need to, and then maybe this is where it'll have a little bit come more in handy. Okay, so just be mindful that he has like a dribble or something like that, maybe the razor dribble or something that could cause a foul sometimes, and that's kind of the risk that you're taking if you decide to use a Soda. Okay, so that's cool. Now let's go into Muller. Now the thing with Muller, interesting, because he seems like he could be kind of up there and usable, but it takes a lot to get the best out of him. Okay, so right here the numbers aren't necessarily that great. However, he does get a boost here, 30% total, which is no joke. However, you need 8 players that have to be Rising Sun, and right now, again, a lot of the players that are out right now are not necessarily Rising Sun. So you would have to have had a lot of the players that were released probably in like previous even in the most recent anniversary celebration, there were a lot of Rising Sun players, but a lot of them have kind of fallen off the meta already. So it's a little difficult to maybe recommend using some of those players, but that's what you would have to use. You would have to have a lot of those Rising Sun players to be able to use them here. But if you have that Chester, if you have that DC Margus as well, DC Chester, DC Margus, I think the Couch is a Rising Sun player as well, the one that was just released. So there's a few ways. And then you get his strongest punch right here at 520. There you go, 7% bond. Then you have safety zone from outside the area. This is key. A 5% increase, so if he's at 520, so that'll be, instead of 52 for 10%, it'll be 26 for 5. So 26 and 520 makes it a 546 skill, which is not bad. Tenacity, although it's not all that necessary, considering 240 is the stamina cost and he has 1259, you're not gonna worry too much where tenacity is gonna be something here, so they left them all right, but let's see in terms of stats though, because this needs to be higher than like Genzo or Morisaki or at that level. With this, I think it's possible that it might reach it with the max of 30. Because like, let's say for example, okay, so we have 16,704 with increases at the Tamatsus and the ability limit. Is it the ability limit releasing and stuff like that, right? Where you use the to increase their stats by 1,000. So let's say we increase it by 1,000, and then the Tamatsu increase would be another 12. So 2,200. 2,200 brings us here. Raw stats alone. 2,200 brings us to 18,904. Okay, almost 19k, almost. So to make the math a little bit easier, I'll pretend it's 19k. And then if you manage to get the 30% increase right here, 19k, 30%, that's roughly 18 divided by 3, 6. But that's divided by 3 would have to be 33%, not 30%. So it's a little bit slightly lower than 6k. So let's assume like about 5,500 or something like that, right? and we're already almost at 19K. So 19 and 55, or we're actually by 100. So let's say 5,400 then, at 19K. In that case, we would be with 24,400. 24,400. And since this is only 1,000 less, I'm just gonna subtract 1,000 from what we got. No, but then even then I can't do that because this one goes up by. This one increases by 2,400 instead of 1,200 like this one does. So this one, what did I say, was 24,400. So we would take away 1,000, but then add another 1,000 because of this, blah blah blah. So roughly, it's gonna be almost the same. Almost the same. Yeah, because 1,000 that we lose here, we're getting it from up here. So almost the same. So about 24K here. And then with the speed, because that's what assists the punch, that would be a 30% here, roughly 4K, because this is higher than this, so about 4K, so 17K. Oh no, but this would have been 15,000, 15,000, because no, even more so, it would have been 16,000 right here. This 24 and 1, so 16, almost 17. Wow, okay, so then 6K, roughly 23K. Okay, maybe my math ain't mathing or something, but this is probably about 24K-ish, and this could be about 23-ish, between 22 and 23,000. Okay, so let's see. Let us see. Okay, we'll do these one, still these ones, still Bakus. Oh, that looks cute. Because it looks like it's not much. You see, this is not what I want to do, because this is not giving you the full 30K that we just tried to calculate or whatever, right? So this guy's a puncher, this guy's a puncher. You say on raw stats alone. This guy has 540 though, not 520, so even better. So Muller could reach up to numbers. Let's see, this guy doesn't increase, only 10% increase right here, if that. There's not anybody that's shooting right now that's a club player for him to get that 10% benefit. So he's only staying at 22K and this. But if you increase him through Tamatsus and everything, his highest will be at 24K. That's what Muller was getting at. Muller's at about 24K. And if we're saying that this guy right here is still a meta goalkeeper, and if you're able to reach Muller at 24K, not only that, but then this guy, you see, because he has a lower speed and power right here, this guy, even with the Tamatsus and the ability limit increases, so at 24, this is 3,400, so 34, this guy will be at 19,800-ish or something. So this will be close to 20K. Muller should be approaching 24K and like 22, 23, remember? And then reaching levels of up to like 24K up here as well. So Muller will actually surpass this Zeno Hernandez in terms of stats. His only catch is that you need to be able to use 8 Rising Sun players to be able to get him up to the maximum of his stats. So it looks like, finally, we have a usable goalkeeper that is readily available to everyone. But, obviously you're going to have to pull him first. So it seems like, if just based on raw numbers alone and the math and all this other stuff, it seems like he should be usable. Let me check again, Morisaki. Because Morisaki is, of course, probably the best goalkeeper in the game right now. And look at this. This guy's even lower right here in speed and power. And then his punch is cool, but he has this and this, which is what makes him better than Muller in case you run into somebody with debuff. And then you have this. So, wow, I would argue that Muller is even better than Morisaki as well in terms of the stats. However, what color is Muller? He's green. Did I just not notice that? Is he green? Well, he should be achieving numbers that are higher than Genzo then. If I'm doing my math correctly. The only thing is that with Genzo, he probably gets RNG in his favor. Not where you at, Danger. Okay, so 15, 16, 15. 15, 16, 15, and then the increase right here, the increase right here, so it could be up to 10%, right? 5, 10%, okay, a master catcher. Look at that right here, 21, 22, and I'm telling you, well, with the 10% or whatever, and then with the Tamato stuff, so he'll be at 24k-ish right here, right? And then right here, he's at, even with the increases here, 21, 34. You know, 20k, okay. I think Muller is probably going to be the highest in terms of stats. Huh. Oh. I'll have to check then to see if I could put something together for Rising Sun. And I kind of do want to pull to at least get to 7%. But I mean, by the looks of it, this is not bad at all. Who cares that his technique is low? Who cares that his catch is low? This is primarily a puncher. What you're focusing on is this, and this. And you saw even Genzo and Morisaki and everything, they had only this right here. And the most they can boost this up is by like 10% tops, right? Because of what they had. And this guy's boosting himself up to 30%. And if I'm doing the math correctly, this will reach, after the increase of by Tamatos and ability limits, and then yeah, this should be reaching up to the 20 some odd thousand that I said, right? There's 30%, and 30% is about close to 5k. Yeah, so this might be the strongest in terms of raw stats. I mean, he gets a little screwed by the fact that he's green. However, Genzo is also green, but his master catcher seems to come through at times against Tsubasa, although not always. But you know, I want to say that this guy is usable, right? So I think I'm gonna have to end up pulling for him on my main account. We have several days to decide, so I'm still gonna wait. I'm gonna pull on this account, and well, here we go. Hopefully that sounds reasonable to you. Hopefully you agree with me on the math and you see we did some comparisons and stuff like that. I'm sorry that I don't have like some fancy schmancy stat calculator or what's it called, an Excel spreadsheet. I should probably work on that at some point. But for now, just doing the math in my head with the numbers and everything, it seems like this Muller is actually surprisingly good. But we'll see. Good luck to you if you decide to pull. It's 120 just to take the risk. I would suggest not to go up to the pity for him, because I mean, he's not a festival unit. He doesn't have that exclusivity, so you don't, even if he is probably the strongest in the game, possibly, I still wouldn't pity him, and just hope that maybe you pull him later in SSR tickets or something. Because don't forget. September, we're already mid-September. We have October, November, December is the anniversary, so 2 months and a half. Doesn't mean that you save everything and pull on nothing, but don't get too crazy just pulling on everything. All right, so good luck if you decide to pull. Let's pull on this account. These are still worth it. They're still worth it, and I wonder if I might have to pull on some of these accounts just to come up with at least one 7% player to have in the squad. That's something I'll have to consider, especially on some of the accounts that I'm farming that probably have a bunch of DBs, you know, and then yeah, just to secure a 7% bond player. Alrighty, hopefully I didn't screw this up, and hopefully everything is recording. I'm pretty sure I tested it. I'm pretty sure everything is good. I'm just a little paranoid because I don't want my stuff to go to waste. All right, here we go. 3 steps. Let's hope that we get lucky. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Come on, let's go. Good luck. Nothing in the first one. Okay. Remember, these are 3% banners, so don't be surprised if we get absolutely nothing in the first 2 pulls. But if you do, it's just, you know, hoping that we get lucky. Black letters, I don't believe it. I couldn't tell. Did we get something? No, we didn't. I knew it. Alright, here's a guaranteed one. Hopefully we get the Muller. And if not, any other 7% bond having card. Okay? You want to give me 2? I wouldn't get mad. From the banner, let's go. Muller. There we go. All right. This account did need some kind of goalkeeper anyway. And oh, is that Tsubasa a rising sun as well? Yeah, I think so, huh? All right. So this account looks like you know, could have some sort of features of some sort, because we have this guy rising sun. Okay, and this one we got him for freezies and some other Polskis. Rising sun as well. Okay, did I pull the free one? I don't remember if I pulled the free one. I did pull the free one. Really? I didn't get anything else. Okay, well, all right. Looks like we got a little something going on here. We got a little lucky. And you know, 120 dream balls, 580 still going. So here we go. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, especially if you're going to be interested in winning one of the 8 accounts that I'm currently farming when December comes around. And then I will run a giveaway then. Okay, so just don't forget. And as always, please, let's practice kindness, be respectful, be responsible, be safe, take care of yourself and each other. Much love and peace. Till the next video.